Colorado Springs, at the foot of famous Pikes Peak, is the starting point for the world's best-known natural highway test of motor cars. 20 miles of winding, twisting road with never a flat stretch. 14,000 feet of steady climbing. It's up, up, up in a test of power, cooling system, and maneuverability. Engine and cooling system prove themselves in this thin atmosphere.
If you come to Pikes Peak and you're scared, I don't think you should be registering.
It's a question of whether you can master the car that you're driving or it just takes advantage of you.
Up at some of these top sections, if you make a mistake, there's going to be a big penalty for it. You can fall off and roll down the hill. How hard are you willing to hang it out when you know that there's nothing there? There's nothing to catch you.
This is a great opportunity. Let's just try it. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the outcome, but we want to give it a shot.
I'm Matt Mullins. I'm the driver of the number 738 XM Label for Pikes Peak International Hill Climb.
We'll check these ones with riding, and then we may put those 4 on and scuff those. And these we might have to keep. My name is Rhys Millen. I am the program director, I guess you could say. Matt and I have been friends in the stunt community for a number of years. He came up with this idea and he's like, man, I really need your help on this. We looked at the faults, it really didn't have any. And I'm like, I think this thing could do it. Pikes Peak is the second oldest race in the US, starting in 1916. And it was an all dirt road then.
So it's the longest, it's the fastest, it's probably the most dangerous. The Pikes Peak International Hill Climb is the greatest hill climb in the world.
In 2012, I actually raced here and was the first winner on an all-paved course, winning overall and setting an all-new world record time. You have 3 sections of the road that make up the 12.42 miles that are entirely different in nature and driving discipline.
156 turns. We start at just below 10,000 feet. We go to over 14,000 feet at the top.
There is no room for fear. There is no room to be an inch too far to the left and an inch too far to the right.
It's the ultimate challenge for a car and driver to try to get to the top. There's sections where we're over 120 miles an hour. Besides being exciting for the driver and thrilling, it's a total test for the car. From the cornering, braking, acceleration, it is a test for sure.
My name is Neil Moreno. I am the XM Campaign Manager, Marketing Department, BMW North America. XM is a new model. It's a luxury SUV. It has all the accoutrements, but it has so much power. The idea was we can take a car off the factory line and race it on Pikes Peak. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see what it does.
So my name is Fabian Friedl. On this project, I'm the lead engineer for the XM. I'm responsible for measuring all the data that we collect on the car, make sure that Matt doesn't have any obstacles when he's going up the mountain.
He can tell you everything about the temperatures, how every system's performing, and that information goes back, and some of these things we learn can go into updates in the production car to make it even more robust and even better.
The XM label has combined 1,000 Newton meters of torque and 738 horsepower, so that's just insane. If you think about how heavy the thing is and how fast it's moving, it's impressive what it's capable of.
Some of the advantages you can get right from a hybrid drivetrain is the electric motor doesn't care about altitude. This is what gives us that explosive torque.
So with the hybrid system, if it's 100 plus horsepower from the factory, you're keeping 100% of that all the way to the top.
What it means for BMW is just another opportunity to showcase what BMW stands for as the ultimate driving machine. The XM label that we're running at Pikes Peak is really no different from a car that's going to come off the factory line into the showroom.
When we chose to go for a new production record, really the car has to remain stock except for some safety modifications. First thing, all the interior's got to come out. It's a huge undertaking.
Perfect. A full roll cage, 6-point roll cage is fitted to the vehicle, onboard fire system, racing seat and harnesses. My guys are pretty good at building a roll cage, and this one is right on point.
This is just like the car you can go buy at the dealership, except the one you're going to drive home is going to have all the luxury and the killer sound system and the M lounge in the back, where mine is a little bit more Spartan inside because it's got one purpose: to go up that mountain.
So we're at Willow Springs. We're about 5.5 weeks out from Pikes Peak at the race. They're using different sections of the track to emulate different sections over Pikes Peak.
Willow Springs is an odd track to choose for a motorsport program, but when you relate it specifically to Pikes Peak, it's absolutely ideal. This is the first 2 minutes off the start line of the mountain run.
Look how hot those are. We need to make sure we're collecting all this data so we can appropriately configure the car to make sure that it's running optimally.
He was more patient on that corner then.
We push the car until we get to those limits. We want to find every weakness. We found, hey, we already have the speed. Need to make sure we get that performance all the way up the hill.
The first outlet was good. That last one was nearly a second off. He's overdriving the front, like he's overslowing there.
Did you hear him pick up the throttle again?
Yeah. 3/10 slower on my timing, both laps. Don't know what's going on, but we shouldn't do any more. It's going slower, so I'm gonna pull him in. That last lap dropped a lot.
That first corner, when you come up here, you dropped 0.3 of a second on this lap compared to your earlier lap.
So it could be a little bit of both, right? A little bit of entry and exit.
Your entry in is the same, and then you dropped a little bit of speed here, whether you came off the throttle longer.
Yeah.
You dropped 4 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
And then you picked it back up and you started to gain back on it.
Yeah.
If you have a tire that is not working because it's worn out, it forces you as a driver to underdrive the car because you can't overdrive it, you don't have the support, but you'll learn from that. And then now we'll go put them on a good tire, and then throttle application, roll speed should be on point.
Gotcha.
Choosing the right tire is probably the most important thing. It's one of the biggest tuning aspects that we have in designing how the car is going to go up the road. On a hill climb, you effectively leave the start line with everything cold. So we'll preheat the tire, and then you can hit that first corner with confidence. Start temp on tire is going to be 120. Hit this first corner like you're trusting it. This is your out lap on the mountain, you know?
Here we go.
That's better. That's way better.
Right off the bat, we were like 2 seconds quicker on a 1 mile course. We're like, hey, this is great. And then we're able to chip away and find even a little bit more time and a little more speed.
What I'm really excited about as we talk right now is I just heard him leave that corner and his throttle application was way later. You're not hearing any squeal out of the tire. You're not seeing 5 degrees more steering angle than what the car requires.
What we found was the XM's pretty awesome, right? We didn't find weaknesses that maybe they thought we would. I tell everybody the ultimate driving machine's not just a slogan, right? That's a real thing.
It's been really, really impressive to watch him learn the road and apply the vehicle to the road absolutely perfect. So tip of the hat to him. If the record falls, he's claiming it, and he did it all on his own.
The interesting thing, though, is it's still all theory because we haven't run all the way up the mountain yet, so we're about to find out.
Okay, we just landed in Colorado Springs. Looks like the weather is bad all week.
For this year's event, we had the opportunity to come here and do a private test to effectively lay down a time that would put us with a check mark before the event even started.
We want to understand what the XM can do. So we had the opportunity to book a day or two prior to race day. We really were only seeing sections, and the only way to run the entire mountain before race day is to do a timed run. So as you know, the saying is the mountain decides, and the mountain decided to snow.
This is Devil's Playground. It's snowing. Almost no visibility down the mountain.
So we get here to Pikes Peak. Well, the top half looked like winter wonderland. If we burn this time, we spend the money and the time, and it might just be us sitting there looking at each other going, hey, we can't go to the top. Everybody's saying, yeah, we're not gonna be able to do it.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Rhys. I'm here with Neil. We've got to make a final decision here.
My input is that I think we should postpone the private test.
Right. It sucks. This was our chance to run the entire mountain. We still won't have the opportunity to do that. I had to make the tough decision, of course, for everybody, but safety first is we're gonna cancel that. Stress factor 11, right?
Change up our strategy, right? So we've only been able to run the bottom part of the mountain. That's what all the teams have had. It may be race week by the time we finally get up here and plan for it the best we can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not ideal.
All of a sudden then we go from confident after the Willow test to we come here and go, man, I don't know. Are we in trouble here?
This is the qualifying day. This is the day that sets up the number in which Matt is going to be able to run the course.
Oh my gosh, look at all this. Yeah. For real now. Yes, sir.
To come here with a manufacturer is always very special. You're limited on what you can do to the vehicle, so it puts a lot of pressure on the driver to perform.
I mean, so far everything looked pretty good, so we are all excited about Matt driving this car. The car performs good, so it's pretty awesome, I would say.
Now, hopefully what you get is when you turn in the steering wheel, you get that, man, the front just turns and cuts and you're like, yeah. And the next corner is the same, and now you have confidence, and now you're in full attack mode, you know?
Matt is crazy. He had like 4 seconds faster than the first run, and he said he can even put it harder now.
Thank you. Coming even better.
Yeah, I know you can. You're the man.
Did a really quick qualifying time, maybe exceeded expectations a little bit from everybody else.
The car is performing great. Matt is doing an incredible job for his rookie year, and it's just an honor to be a part of it.
We got 3 good runs in. We learned a lot. We have a good starting spot. I think we'll be in the top half. So it was a fantastic day.
It's 24 hours before the race starts tomorrow morning. Car feels good. Everything is push it 10 tenths to the limits.
For race day, I'm super excited about winning for sure. And I can already see it in my mind because Matt is doing such a great job.
We have done everything that we can possibly do to be prepared. We know the XM label is running phenomenally.
I'm a little nervous, I have to say, but he's into breaking records. I just have to trust that he's going to do great, and I know he will.
I know tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel pretty nervous, but at the same time, I just know that he's got it, right? So
I'm really not worried at all. I know he's going to do well, and hope he wins all of it.
So we're here on race day. It's about 4:56 a.m. in the morning. The whole point of today for me is just hitting that time target. That time is 10 minutes, 49 seconds. This project has been over 9 months in the making, and we're just super excited to be here. It's very personal for me now. It all comes down to just one time to run.
The greatest thing about this event this year is where we have seen mountain conditions on race day be really, really bad for the last 3 years. The conditions look absolutely perfect.
The sun is shining and the skies are blue here at the 101st running of the Broadmoor Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, presented by Gran Turismo.
70 competitors. Cars firing up, no catalytic converters. They are loud, they are mean. Add in spectators everywhere. Spectators are allowed anywhere, in the pits, on the sidelines. It's controlled chaos.
When we start getting closer to when it's time to go, kind of get out to myself, you get a little bit more focused. You have to really focus on what you're doing, block out everything else, because it's serious business, right? It's fun, it's amazing, but you can't afford to make a mental mistake, especially here.
I want to see results. I mean, that's really what it's about. It's fun, but I do want to see results. I want to see what the true capability of the XM label is.
That is insane. See, we're gonna
Yeah,
do this. He, for sure. I have more than 100% confidence in him.
But honestly, for me, when it's time to go, I don't know, you just kind of go blank because you just got to go. You're not processing. You just want to go where this all just is like subconscious, where it's just a flow. And you're just looking up the road and you're just going as it comes to you.
And this is probably one of the heaviest vehicles here, I think north of 6,000 pounds, which is definitely 3 times or maybe 4 times the weight of some of the other vehicles.
Now I have the honor of doing the starting flag for the XM and Matt's launch.
When I'm at the starting line and they're getting ready to throw the green flag, that's kind of it for me. I mean, at that point, it's just go, man.
The XM manager there, and what a great way to launch. Again, getting to wave the green flag on your own vehicle's run. It's got to be a special moment. 6,000 pounds of BMW getting up to speed very, very quickly.
Yeah, that thing is just an absolute rocket ship.
Which was the first checkpoint. So we're thinking that it might be Matt. They haven't said the name or the number of the car. They're sending the EMS from halfway back down the mountain to Crystal. So I don't know anything. It could be somebody else, but they went right after Matt went.
My poor wife, she's been through a lot of stuff with me. Tears are streaming down their face. I'm like, oh my goodness, you know. I look over and Matthew's got tears in his eyes and I'm like, buddy, I'm okay, right? I went and gave him a big hug and said, I love you, man. And he just said, I just know how much this meant to you. And man, I wanted to do it for everybody. It's just disappointing, right?
Everybody's giving him the respect that he deserves for going for it. Baseline, Matt's fine. He's walking in, he's talking to people. Big picture, super disappointing, right?
Man, all the people involved in this are just the best people, you know? I mean, we've been like a family for months, and then especially for this month, right? And I wouldn't trade that for anything. I hate it for these guys. They deserve a better result than we were able to get them today.
You know, we've been talking about this for a year and a half. We've been working on it for months. We've been driving the car and practicing for weeks.
I'm most excited about what possibilities lie ahead, what could be, what we know can be. It's the excitement of having Matt have the opportunity to run the entire mountain.
But you already start thinking about, well, I don't want this to be the end of the story. Maybe we'll get a chance to come back and do it.